Hey YouTube, progress has been made on the shed build. I got the last of the rock that I needed, so my foundation hole is nice and filled in here. And I got my 16-foot skids set down in here. So let me just take you on a little tour of the job site here. Obviously there's our foundation, and you can see I've got the 2x4 pressure treated framing laying out here on the side. I'm getting ready to start on the actual floor frame. There is the beast, the trailer that brought all of this stuff home. Even with a 16-foot, 7,000-pound trailer, I had to make 2 trips. Not because it was too much material, but because when they pull stuff for you at the home center, they bundle it as they pull it. So what you get is all the pressure treated stuff is grouped together, even if some of it's 8 feet long and some of it is 16 feet long. And then likewise, you see in the back corner there, I've got the non-pressure treated lumber, the 2x whatever, the studs, the 2x8s that are going to be my headers. All of that stuff is together, including, you know, the 16-footers that were my top plates for the side walls. There's my helper, Wave Madalini. She's making sure all of my nails are nice and straight. Over here, we've got the bundle of all of the sheathing and some 1x lumber that's going to be the trim on the shed. I did a little bit of damage. I don't know if you can see that on there. Getting this stuff off the trailer, the only thing I had that was strong enough to go around there and lift it with the front end loader was chain, which was not real good for the sheet goods. However, I don't think it's going to matter. I got lots of cutting to do. Speaking of cutting, here's the cutting station, as it were. You can see down here at the bottom of the frame is my Rube Goldberg air tank contraption. It took 300 feet of hose to get from the compressor out to here, but I have a good solid 120 PSI in that tank. It's going to be more than enough to run even the big framing nailer. I guess you could do this project without a chop saw, but I wouldn't want to. This is, of course, a Harbor Freight special. This is the big boy, the 12-inch slider. It's not bad. It's certainly worth the money. One of these days I'll probably do a video review on that and of course show you the special modifications I made to it. This is the first actual project made with my modified Harbor Freight welder. I had to come up with something that was the same height as the deck on the chop saw, but you know, out here far enough that I could put 12, 16-foot lumber on it. So I grabbed some angle iron that I had laying around and I welded up this thing. It's not pretty. I didn't even bother to clean the rust off of the joints before I welded it. That is one of the few real joys of flux core welding, is that it just is pretty forgiving when it comes to metal prep. And you know, this obviously is not structural per se. If it collapses in the middle of a saw cut, worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to wreck a 2x4, so not too worried about it. All right, gang, well, from here on out, I'm going to do quite a bit of time lapse, I think. There are tons of videos out there already on all of the details of how do you frame a wall, how do you frame a floor. Until I get to the roof, frankly, I'm not doing anything that's going to be even remotely interesting. So I'm going to set up the GoPro, I'm going to do a time lapse. You can watch this whole thing come together if you want to, or, you know, as they say, skip a bit, brother. And one of these days we'll get to the roof. Until then, stay safe, YouTube.